This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Today we're going to take a look at something that's kind of a head scratcher for me. And well, we'll just take it from there. Why don't we just start off by first, we're going to be taking a look at Warcry Catacombs, Death and Glory in the Lands of Dungeons and of Chaos. Okay, alright, so here's where I start to get a little worried about things. Okay, we're going to go down and take a look at the board, and I'm going to show you the book and everything like that, and you make a decision for yourself. You know, I'm just going to give you my opinion, and that ain't worth a hill of beans. But we're going to take a look at it. We're not going to go through the whole box set, but I want to take a look at first the Catacombs book, the board, which is beautiful, of course. But I almost feel like with this is kind of the start that we're kind of going backwards a little bit. It's funny with Games Workshop, you go forward and everybody gets all excited about certain things, and then you come out with 9th edition, which people weren't too jazzed over. Now this Catacombs set, which is $200, which is a head scratcher to me. And then of course we've got Blood Bowl coming up in a couple weeks, where they're changing some rules, which that's got me kind of on edge as well. But today we're going to be talking about Catacombs particularly. You get this box set, which is about $200, and you're going to get, and I'm going to show you right here just so we can kind of have something to talk about. You're going to get two new factions. Okay, that's cool, which is a little bit different. But the thing that kind of makes me scratch my head is you're going to get the core book, okay, which is fine and everything like that because I have the core book in the original set. But it's all the older pieces that you're going to be getting, okay, which takes up quite a bit. And I went, okay, well, I have all this stuff. I painted all this stuff and did all this stuff. The only thing I'm really getting new is, of course, the two factions, which you could have bought separately if you wanted to and not shove it into a $200 box. I'm getting some doors, some bridges, and a couple of treasure pieces. And then I'm still getting the same board, but instead of two different dungeon boards, I'm getting the old board on one side and a dungeon board on the other side, when I would have liked to probably have two different types of dungeon board. The other thing is that you get this supplement, because this is what you're really buying this for, and I'm sure they would have sold it separately, but this you know, I wanted to get this right away. I love Warcry and Catacombs. When I went through it, it's okay, but it's almost like a little bit of an expansion instead of a new imagination of Warcry, or taking and adding this fantastic dungeon experience to Warcry, which would have been glorious. You know, reading through it's you know, it's just different missions above ground and below ground. But I just almost feel that it doesn't add enough of what I was looking for. And I wonder if you guys feel the same way about it. Now, granted, let's go down to the table and take a look, and I'll go through some of this stuff, and you make a decision for yourself, and then we'll come back. This dungeon board is, you know, absolutely beautiful, as you can see, and I really like this, but I really think I would have liked another alternative to, you know, to the side here. I mean, if you come on the other side, well, we have this already. You know, it would have been nice if they put a different dungeon on the other side instead of a dungeon on one side and then an upper level on the other side, or give us two boards. This here, well, let's start here first. You know, you're going to get another Warcry book. It's always good to have a couple of core books. But I almost felt that if they just took this and a two-sided board and added a couple of factions, you brought the price down a little bit, maybe changed some of this out to more dungeon stuff or things like that. You know, this would have been a really superb box set. Not to say that it's horrid or anything like that. It's just it's a head scratcher for me. Like I said, the only thing that you really see here that you're getting, all this stuff came in the original set. You know, there's no imagination to it. And this is the new stuff, but it's basically doors because it's underground. Excuse me. This stuff is new. Those we have in the other set. It's this here, you know, the center vent there, which, you know, and then you have the book here, which, you know, a lot of beautiful pictures showing the underground, showing the above ground, showing the two new factions, giving you some history, which really, there's no greater history than Games Workshop. Please don't think I'm trashing them. I've been around for, you know, a good 45 years of Games Workshop, and I can tell you that, you know, sometimes it's been up and down. I just hope we're not going backwards after so many great progresses forward. The Catacombs, like I said, it just, I really don't feel this really, I mean, this is beautiful and everything like that. And, you know, but it almost kind of, yeah, see, campaign, so now you mix in your other stuff. But if you're going to do that, why not just give us more of the dungeon stuff? You know, I could be wrong. Hey, what do I know? But really, this seems like a supplement that should have been put together and more stuff added for other things, because the only real things that you're getting here, like I said, is two new factions, a little bit of terrain, the other side of the board, and this small supplement book. So, you know, for $200 you're getting more of the same, I think, and it's all squished in there. I could be wrong. Hey, I love GW. I always will, and I will always forgive them. But, you know, I think this one, I think we kind of missed the mark of what you could have done. I think you could have done a lot more about it. Let's go up top and get my final thoughts on this. So, like I said, you know, I am a massive GW fan. Everything here is virtually GW. But I felt you could have done more. I felt you could have done a lot more. Maybe even have wiped this whole board away and all the other parts, and maybe even take and kind of had tiles that you could have placed in certain things and really make it, you know, kind of wild and crazy, where you really had kind of a dungeon board in a way. You know, you've got this one board and you want to sell this as Catacombs. It should have been a two-sided board, I think, with more catacombs and stuff like that. I think that would have been a little bit more accepting. More dungeon terrain instead of, you know, more of the same. And I really would have liked that. Now, maybe they have plans, and maybe there's things I just don't know, that they're going to be coming out with more and different boards and things like that. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just taking a look at what we have here. And when things kind of start happening like this, we usually start going backwards, which is something that I never liked. When you know, you got some of the most brilliant minds, the greatest models, the greatest miniature company in the world, that, hey, there's so much more you can do. You have a tremendous following. You know, don't rely on your following. They want to be entertained each and every time. Listen, not everything's going to be a hit. There's going to be misses. Okay? Let's not forget the Inquisitor game, okay? That was pretty bad. But you want to have these experiences. You could have done a lot more with this, I think. And it just makes me, you know, this is the second one in a row. We had Warhammer 40K, which, the 9th edition, okay. You know, it didn't knock me off my socks. But that's just me. I'm sure others love it. This now, and now in a couple weeks we're going to have Blood Bowl. And Blood Bowl is sacred to me. So I just hope this isn't, you know, third time's the charm, as they say. You know, 3 strikes you're out. That kind of thing. Things happen in threes. Let's not hope that's any kind of indicative case of what can happen. So there you go. Just a quick look at this. We're going to put this together. We're going to play it, of course. Yeah, I mean, Warcry is a great game. Just with Catacombs, I would have liked the scene in this box set. It really dedicated to the Catacombs, because you could have, let's face it, the people that are going to play Warcry are the people that are already playing Warcry, and yeah, you're going to have that small number that are going to want to jump in, but have have 2 different sets that they can have an above and a below ground type of thing. Make Catacombs its own thing, stand on its own, and you can combine it in a campaign setting. I think that's what they were trying to do here, but for the already established Warcry person, which there's a ton of it because people love this more than they do Age of Sigmar, to be honest with you. I think, I think you just could have done more. That's my thoughts. Would love to hear your thoughts in the bottom of the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, it's your old pal Rob. I'll see you soon.